welcome to my channel. Oh boy, I got lots to say. Today I'm talking about a new movie streaming now on Amazon Prime called Saltburn. This movie, well, it's new on Amazon Prime, but it was released on limited theaters, I want to say a couple months ago. I'm a little bit late to the game, and that's my own fault because I honestly don't go on Amazon Prime anymore for scrolling until I know there's a particular show coming out, like Gen V, The Boys, or if there's something that I'm like looking for. So I was like, let me see what's on Amazon Prime. And then boom, there was like a headline showing Saltburn. And I've been wanting to watch Saltburn since the trailer came out. And I was like, what? It's on Amazon Prime already? Saltburn is directed by Emerald Fennell. I used to call her Emerald Fennell, but I saw an interview with her and she called herself Emerald Fennell. So, and she directed Promising Young Woman, which was one of my favorite movies of the year. She actually won an Oscar for that movie. I think it was screenplay. Yeah, but she's great. And I knew her as an actress. She played Camilla Parker Bowles on The Crown, younger Camilla. And I thought she did such a great job as Camilla. And then when I watched Promising Young Woman and I found out that she directed, I was like, whoa, that movie, like the ending was so good. I love a good psychological drama. But when I saw the trailer for Saltburn, something about it, it was like, I've seen this before. It seems like a plot that I've seen someplace else. It was a mix of like Parasite with Talented Mr. Ripley. From the beginning of the movie, when Oliver is giving that testimony or interview, which I thought it was. It could have been like an interrogation. He's smoking a cigarette and he's talking about Felix, saying, did I love him? Yeah, was I in love with him? No. So the way that he was talking about Felix, almost like in a past tense, I was like, oh, it was already clicking in my head. I knew that Felix had died. Our two main leads are Felix and Oliver is obsessed with Felix. Oliver is played by Barry Keoghan, and Felix is played by Jacob Elordi. Keoghan, I think I first saw him in the Killing of the Sacred Deer, I believe that's the name of the movie. And I last saw him in the Banshees of Inisherin, which got him an Oscar nomination. He was phenomenal in that movie. If you haven't seen Banshees, go watch it. And then Jacob, I remember him, of course, from Euphoria, and he plays Elvis in the Priscilla movie. Both of them did so good in this movie, Saltburn. I mean, I think like Barry Keoghan, he takes his acting to like another level. Back to the plot. Oliver tells Felix that he came from like a broken household. Like his mom is a druggie, his dad is an alcoholic, they're poor. He's like a lonely only child. And after Oliver helps Felix with his bike, Felix is sitting there and he's got like a flat tire on his bike. And Oliver says, hey, you can take my bike. They become friends. And after Oliver goes to Felix's room one time and he's crying, he's upset, he just got a call from his mom, and he told Felix that his dad had just died. So Felix feels really bad for him and invites Oliver to go to his family estate called Saltburn for the summer. The first big reveal of the movie, it's when they're already at Saltburn, having a great time. And then it was Olive's birthday, and the day of his birthday, they're going to throw a big party at nighttime. But on the day of his birthday, Felix goes to him and say, hey, get ready, let's go on a road trip. And Felix surprises Oliver by taking him to his mother's house and saying that he needs to go and mend things with her. And Oliver is freaking out. Please don't do this. Please don't do this. Please, let's not go there. And I was like, something's up with you, boy. So when they get there, Felix finds out that Oliver lied about everything. And he sees that his mom is a very stable lady. The dad, it's not a drunkie, and it's not dead. He's not an only child. He's got sisters. They live in this beautiful upper middle class house. They even vacation in Mykonos for the summer. So that pisses Felix off. So at the night at the party, during the party, Felix tells Oliver, hey, I think it's best if you leave Saltburn after the party. And Oliver begs Felix to still be his friend. He's like, please, are we still gonna be friends? And he's holding on to like Felix's shirt, but we're still gonna be friends, right? So I first knew that this boy was up to no good when he's having drinks, like pre-dinner drinks with Elspeth. Yeah, I think that's how you pronounce her name. She's Felix's mom, played by Rosamund Pike. Oliver and Elspeth, oh my God, that name is gonna be like a tongue tie for me this whole video. So they're talking, and the mom, she has this friend, we'll get to her too. Her name is Pamela, and she's talking about Pamela, and then Oliver says, don't you think there's a possibility that she's lying about everything that's going on in her life? Because Pamela is always like, oh, boo-hoo, my life is so miserable. When Oliver told the mom that, it's like, you know, I think she could be lying about all of that. And I was like, oh, you're the one lying, aren't you? Like, he was literally talking about himself. Okay, so poor dear Pamela, because that's how she's credited in the movie. If you look in the credits, I think that's her name, like poor dear Pamela, and it's played by Carey Mulligan, who was the lady of Promising Young Woman. She literally has like 3 scenes in the movie, but she's like, she stole the show for me. The scenes that she's in it, she's so funny, she's so good. I want like a prequel of Pamela and Elspeth as when they met, or them as friends, I don't know, them in the university, or them going on a road trip. I want Rosamund Pike and Carey Mulligan in a movie together as those 2 characters. Okay, so let me address the shocking scenes that everyone's talking about in the Twitterverse, all the memes. I want to tell you that I watch a lot of stuff. Nothing shocks me. Or maybe my mind is like too open of a mind. Like, it takes a lot for something to make my jaw drop. So let's discuss the bathtub scene. Let me set the stage for you. Felix is in the bathtub, filled with water, you know, taking a nice bath, and he's masturbating. And they share a bathroom. Oliver and Felix, they have different bedrooms, but they share a bathroom. So when Felix is there, you know, enjoying his, you know, his own time, Oliver is watching him. Like, he's just like, you know, peeking and watching him. And it's safe to assume that Felix finishes himself and ejaculates in the tub. And when he's leaving the bathroom, he tells Felix, all yours, buddy, you know, you're good to go, blah, blah. And then as the water in the tub is draining, Oliver goes in the tub, and then he lays right there, and he slurps the water from the tub as it's going down the drain. And I think he even like licks the drain. But why? Why are people so shocked? Like, have you never desired someone so bad that even like the smell of their underwear, the smell of their armpits, or just their natural body smell drives you crazy? There's something about those natural body fluids that really like drive someone crazy. And I won't say like, oh, if you love someone. No. It's not about love. It's about like lust and desire. I also hooked up with this guy. That was his little kink. He wanted to come in a cup and have me drink it. This video is gonna be so much TMI, but who am I to judge? If whatever rocks your boat, buddy, if that's his little kink, that's his kink. Like I said, open-minded. I think the point of this movie is that Oliver wanted Felix so bad, had so much desire for Felix, but he didn't have anywhere to put that desire because it wasn't a reciprocated like relationship. You know, Felix just wanted to be friends, and Oliver, you know, you could tell he was sexually attracted to him. Moving on to another shocking scene. Ollie and Venetia is the sister of Felix. They have sex. Let me set the stage for you. She's downstairs below his window wearing a see-through dress. He goes there and they're talking, and he starts like touching her, and she says, oh no, Oliver, this is not the right time of the month. In my head, I thought she was talking about like ovulating. Maybe she's not on the pill or, birth control. I was watching this movie during the daytime, and there was a glare on the TV that was coming from like the sun that was coming out like from the window. So the image was kind of dark. So when he started to like play with her and like finger her and lick the fingers and have her lick the fingers, I thought it was just for like lubrication. I couldn't see like anything else. And he said something to her, "Lucky you, I'm a vampire." And I was like, totally passed by my head. Until after they like, do the deed. The next scene, it's him in the tub, filled with water, and his mouth is covering blood. And I was like, oh, duh. She was on her period. He went, down there. He like ate her up and then had all the blood in his mouth. But has anyone out there not had period sex before? Have you never had to put like a towel underneath you when you wanna get it on, but it's that time of the month? So that wasn't like very shocking to me. I mean, shocking that a guy would like go down there when she's like actively bleeding, because you can tell like, his mouth was like covered in blood. The grave humping scene. Let me set the stage again. After Felix's death, Oliver goes to his grave site. There's the cross, the dirt. He takes off all his clothes, butt naked, lays on the dirt, starts digging a hole in the dirt, and then like he's not even just like dry humping, he's like penetrating the dirt. I thought that was funny. I laughed out loud during the scene. So I wasn't shocked. I just thought it was funny, and also not very believable because it was cold, it was raining, it was getting dark, and you like have all your clothes off. And how can you get an erection in that particular situation? And speaking of being butt naked, we have a great final scene where Barry Keoghan, that plays Oliver, he's dancing to that song. Came out in like 2001, I think. Yeah, because I choreographed a whole dance of that song. I love that song. It's like, "Murder on the Dance Floor, you better not kill the mood, DJ," by Sophie something. Great song. He's like full on butt naked dancing around. But when I was watching the movie, totally thought about Hugh Grant in Love Actually doing that like silly little dance. And now let's talk about the deaths or murders. Felix's death. He died by poisoning. He drank like a bottle of champagne and then poof, died. I wonder if Oliver killed Felix because he was afraid that Felix was going to let everyone know about his secret, about his family. And that reminded me again of the talented Mr. Ripley, because it was, what was it, Jude Law's character found out something about Matt Damon's, and then Matt Damon's like, "Oh, you already know this, like I have to kill you." And then the second death that we have after Felix is Venetia. She's in the bathtub. She's really upset. She has like, mental struggles. She's like super drunk and crying. And Oliver goes there and she gives him this whole speech about him just being a stranger, that he only knew Felix for about 6 months. He's like a moth attracted to the light, that, Felix was the light. She even said that Oliver wanted to eat Felix up and lick the plate. So she was like poking the bear. And later on, we're going to talk about this little montage at the end. We see that Oliver put razors right next to her, like on the table next to her to the tub. And then we see that she died in a tub full of blood. And of course, we assume that she, slit her wrist. I don't think she did. I think that he waited for her to pass out, because she was pretty drunk, to pass out in the tub, and he cut her wrist. After the kids died, Oliver didn't want to leave Saltburn, but Sir James, the dad, tells him, "How much? How much do you want for you to leave? Leave my family alone, leave my wife alone. It's not good for her." And he's writing him like a check. Oliver leaves, and then about 16 years pass. We like fast forward to 2022, I think, where he's in a coffee shop and he runs into the mom, and then they're talking and she says, "Yeah, I'm not happy. Are you?" He's like, "No, I'm not happy." So she invited him to come to Saltburn with her. But later on, we found out that Oliver actually planted himself at that little cafe that he was reading the papers and then he saw that Sir James had died, and he looked her up or looked where she lived, something like that, and then he knew that she goes to that little cafe. And the whole time that Oliver was at Saltburn, you can tell he was like slowly seducing the mom, because at the end, by the way, she signs off Saltburn to him. She has, like I said, some sort of illness and she's in a coma. That's where we see the scene that we see at the beginning of him telling the whole story. Oliver is sitting by her bedside and spilling the beans, saying that he's the one that caused all those horrific accidents. But he tells her, is there such a thing as an accident? And then at the end, we get this little montage and we see that everything that Oliver did was premeditated. The flat tire on Felix's bike, he's the one that caused it. Running into the cafe to meet the mom, he knew she was going to be there. And I think that little montage just, I don't know, treated us, the viewers, as we were dumb, because I didn't want to see how he did it, but why he did it. I was so confused by Oliver's motives. What did he want? Was he obsessed and in love with Felix, or he just wanted his life and beat him? You know that saying, if I can't have you, no one will? I think with Oliver and Felix was, if I can't have you, I'll become you. He killed him, Felix. He killed his sister, the mom. So was he just after the money and the state? Or was he seeking revenge on these people because they're all so rich and kind of snob? So maybe he felt like they were putting him down and made him feel bad about himself, that he wanted to, you know, kill them all. But that doesn't really make sense, because the family was really nice to him and very welcoming to him. They weren't bad people. They're very eccentric people, but they weren't bad people. On the other hand, you know, if you see Oliver as a sociopath or a psychopath, do they really need motives? People like that do things like lying, cheating, manipulating because they can. Like, did Oliver need money? No, his family was doing fine. Did he need friends? I don't think so. He befriended that math guy, that guy at Oxford University. Oh, by the way, they go to Oxford University. He made friends with a math guy. Overall, Saltburn was a fun watch. I also really appreciated the soundtrack, how accurate of the decade, because it was like 2006, 2007, how all the songs matched the decades. And the movie was beautifully shot. It was shot on film. It looks great. I saw an interview with Emerald, and she said that she started to want to make movies after she saw Cruel Intentions and heard the soundtrack, and I was like, it clicked in my head. If you think about Saltburn, it's a more sophisticated and campy Cruel Intentions, so that totally makes sense. Let me know in the comments down below, what do you think Oliver's motives was? And if you like this video, make sure to hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and also hit the little bell notification button so you don't miss any future videos, and I'll see you next time.